Hello everybody, welcome to another traveling vlog with Joe and I. Today we are down by the Bay City Riverwalk. So as you can see, we are walking, there's the river back over there. So yeah, a little bit of discussions about where this channel is heading. I've tried to get some ideas in here for gaming and whatnot. But it seems that I'm going to stick to a historical channel as well as a vlogging channel in terms of traveling. So as you can see, we're walking down the Riverwalk here. Now, one thing that I want to touch up upon, just like the state park, we do have these cool looking photos here that tells about the history of certain locations, as well as what's surrounding us in the environment. And yeah, and Joe's here. He is taking some excellent photographs, and it's a wonderful sunset there. It did rain today, so that's why it's actually looking pretty wet outside. But one thing you guys haven't noticed in my previous vlogs is this right here. We're pretty much kind of in the middle of Bay City, and what divides Bay City is the Saginaw River. It's a river that flows south from Saginaw and it flows north into the Saginaw Bay, which is in Michigan. And of course that little log over there is actually part of a ship. You see some other ships here. Basically what happened was that when these ships were ready to be retired, they kind of just set them on fire and let them sink to the bottom of the river here. So if you guys are ever wondering, you know, what is that out there, it is, yes, a ship. So there is a lot of space between us here, between the other side of Bay City. Now that side does have a little bit of more history to it as well. You have Center Avenue, which houses a lot of your prestigious and large mansions, which are now used for apartments, as well as there's a bed and breakfast over there as well. I do recommend that. But yeah, it is one beautiful place to visit. We have Liberty and Independence bridges surrounding us here from side to side, and there is a pier right here that goes out to this pagoda, or not pagoda, well, this thing over here. Basically, you go in, you can stand under it, and then further down you have an extension of the Riverwalk itself. It's a bridge that takes you over the river and onto an island. This is probably one of the most peaceful places to go to if you're ever wondering, you know, where can I go to walk around and enjoy my peace and quiet here in Bay City. And this is it. Most of the time this place is maintained fairly well, of course, and Joe is getting a picture over here. Let's go take a look here. So what you photographing, Joe?
Just this grass and like how it's backlit by the sun.
I keep getting sunbeams, like for some odd reason, like.
Oh yeah, it's probably the blade, your aperture blades.
Oh.
I noticed that it's like a big star. They pointed at the sun.
Yeah, did you see that? Like the.
I'm guessing it's just like, yeah, there's like a four-bladed aperture. And, like that's why you get like the weird star shape.
Yeah.
With the 4 points.
Yeah. The other thing too, today is not a very hot day at all. It's actually very cool, thankfully, because it rained. And even when it did rain, the raindrops are really cold. It's been really hot recently. Basically what we're going to do is just shoot some pictures here. We're going to walk around, play some Pokemon Go, obviously. So the question below is there a body of water that runs through your town? such as a river, or is there a pond, or is there a lake? And if there is there anything like this? So if there's anybody watching in New York, also let me know what you guys do out there, because I've never been to New York. I've been to Chicago and several other larger cities, so I'm just kind of curious as to how it is. I do want to point out something here, and that is that building over there, this little red white building. That used to be a brewery. Believe it or not, Bay City did have its own brewery. So basically, as part of this, former site of the Goldie Hoop Stave and Plug Works. William Goldie and his son took advantage of the Bay Area's abundant lumber to manufacture wooden barrels from 1901 to 1911. The roughly hewn barrels were used to transport Bay City's popular beer, fish, and salt products. So there we go. That little building over there is part of Bay City's history. Hello. So in my Trombley video, I discussed a topic of preserving your city's history, historical architecture in particular. And I did mention that in a lot of cities, buildings made of brick were being allowed to basically kind of decay over time. And this particular building, I'm not exactly sure if it's actually being preserved or if it's just sitting there. That's the one thing. We could obviously go over there eventually in one of our other trips, but for the meantime we're going to stick to the Riverwalk here. Oh, and speaking of this boat here, you're going to see this quite often. We do have tour boats that come in to Bay City. If you pay a certain fee, they'll take you on board. You'll ride up and down the Saginaw River. And then you can drink beer, have wine, party, do whatever they have on that boat. I think it's a great option if you want to tour this area. But yeah, it is a wonderful day here. Just to let everybody know that this is indeed what Bay City is like. And there's the boat. So the sun is setting, which is pretty cool. Sunsets are also very beautiful, which I do encourage everybody to actually go out and enjoy a beautiful sunset at least a few times in their life. You basically need it. We have Joe here trying to figure out what this flower is.
I'll figure it out later.
Yes. So if you have any of those damn botanists, identify the flower from these yellow specks in this video, okay?
So I'm gonna look at all the little details and record them. Just take little pictures on my phone. So it's got a bunch of 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers. They kind of all in a row, and they all come off of like a single axis.
Yeah. All right, so we're continuing on walking the Riverwalk here. As you can see, it's getting a little bit darker, which is making the scenes look pretty good. Oh, of course, there's little lamps out here at nighttime. So hopefully we can all get some good night photos. There is that brewery there that I was telling everybody about.
Wait, there's a brewery?
I believe this building here was used to brew beer.
Oh,
Oh, see that?
crane.
Crane.
Or I keep saying crane. Lead group.
Identify the bird, Joe.
That's a pure blueberry.
Wonder.
Just standing in the middle of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually try to zoom up on him here if I can. Wow. I hope you guys enjoy this this vlog. I do want you guys to leave a like and a comment down below if you like my content. If you want to see more, make sure you share it, and then make sure you hit that bell button twice so you get notifications and subscribe to my channel. With that, I do leave you with this wonderful sunset off in the distance here. Very beautiful, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful night.